I saw Transformers 1 and I really liked it. Here's my review. Transformers 1. He saw Transformers 1. Yeah. The film is good. There are a lot of people talking about this film at the moment online. They think it's not been pushed enough. And you know what? Having seen it, that probably is accurate. Transformers has been one of the biggest live action franchises of recent years, mainly from the Michael Bay explosions and the Megan Fox scenes and all that type of thing. This one doesn't necessarily have any of that. It's an animation film. It's directed by a guy called Josh Cooley, who directed Toy Story 4 and is the origin story for Optimus Prime and Megatron. But it follows them before they get to that point. It follows them when they are cog free, which is Transformers terminology for not being able to change, but they are cogs in their universe. They are stuck in a system as miners, as in their version of reality on Cybertron, they live in a city called Lakon, and in their version of reality, they are part of this system where the miners are trying to get more of their energy sources back because after all the primes got defeated years prior, it's all frozen up. So they're trying to get the mines going again. There are still Transformers this time period, but Orion Pax, voiced by Chris Hemsworth, and D16, voiced by Brian Tyree Henry, are not Transformers. They are just robots that can't transform. So the film starts off pretty strongly. It establishes these people as friends, these robots as friends, and paints where they are in their life. They are at the bottom of the food chain, but Orion Pax is very clearly wants to get to the top of the food chain. He is shown pretty consistently through the film to be fairly rebellious in his views. He's shown to be someone that does not follow protocol, and his friend is often the person that gets into trouble with him as a result of trying to keep him from going off the chain. So why this film is really good is because it's got a really strong script. It's funny, it's lighthearted, it honors and respects all the Transformers films that have come before it. It gives that added detail that perhaps you might not know if you're a casual Transformers fan. But also there's a lot there for the people that might be more hardcore in their views and knowledge and understanding of the Transformers films. The voice acting as a whole is very strong. Chris Hemsworth is given a big task to play Optimus Prime, and building him to Optimus Prime, and he does a very good job of really making that voice role his own. Similarly with Brian Tyree Henry and Scarlett Johansson and Keegan-Michael Key, who all go on to play other big characters within the film. They all play a very believable versions of the characters that, for all characters that have fairly recognizable voices in reality, for these celebrities are known for their voices in a way. You know, they do a good job of creating this alternative reality and you can really believe that they are these characters. The animation itself is very, very good. It is very, very good. That's the kind of short of it. A lot of animations have come out in recent years and they've all looked very slick and they've all looked very solid. And this is another one along that line. It might even be one of the best animation films this year. I know a lot of people are saying that The Wild Robot is. I've not seen that yet, but I'm still putting this up there as one of the best animation films, at least looks and feels wise, because I think it's got to be. When they reach the surface of Cybertron, there's some really beautiful animation in there that really shows this sort of vast world that these characters haven't experienced at this point. But also when they're on Lakon, when they're in Cybertron, it shows this ever expanding city where all these people live and it's lots and lots of vibrant colors, and it really comes across very nicely within the film. It's got a really nice soundtrack. It's got a very good plot line. You know, overall, this film has a lot of things that you'd want as a cinema goer, and I think that's really important to know. It's an origin film, but it also works as a standalone thing if you haven't necessarily seen those other films. As a result, I think it ticks a lot of boxes. I'd be interested to know what other people thought. The reviews are obviously very positive. There's a lot of talk, mainly more around the lack of advertising for the film rather than what the film is in particular. But overall, there's a lot of strong reviews, and I think that is justified. The film was written by Eric Pearson, Andrew Barra, and Gabriel Ferrari, who have put together a really fun comedy that honestly really respects the long-established franchise. There are no humans in it in the other film. If you're planning to go see this because you're hoping to see someone like Megan Fox, or for some reason hoping Shia LaBeouf makes his comeback in Transformers, it's not going to happen. Instead, it's purely focused on the Transformers. And I think by taking away the human element of this film, it gives them more time to focus on the characters of the Transformers themselves. You see more built-up friendships, you see more built-up relationships, you get to know the characters without the distractions of, trying to save the human race. And I think from a story perspective, I think it really works. If you're looking for something to see at the moment, then honestly, I can really recommend Transformers 1. It's not that long a film. I know a lot of people don't like long films anymore. Fair enough. I get distracted too, but this is a short film. This is like 104 minutes. It's worth seeing, I think, especially when there's not loads out there at the moment. You may want to see Joker 2, but the reviews are probably telling you otherwise. I gave this film a 4 out of 5, which I think is fair. It's kind of tempted me to watch the other Transformers films. I'm aware that the latter live-action Transformers films are not as solid, but I'd at least be willing to give the first few a rewatch, so I will update if that does happen. I really hope that this film does get a sequel. It sets up for a sequel. It sets up for a trilogy, I believe, but I think it does deserve it, and I think the fans are really pushing for it. Viral fan marketing is probably my favorite form of marketing. I love the stuff with Minions. I love the stuff with Morbius. And I'm aware that it doesn't always have the positive connotations, but there are people online that are really pushing for this film. And I think it'll be really interesting to see if they greenlight a new one, because I'm aware from looking at the estimated budgets for this compared to other live action films, it's not that far off. I think this one was like 150 mil, and the other ones are sort of 200 mil. At least the original Transformers are. So it'll be interesting to see if the studios take risks on this. I'm aware studios aren't taking as many risks at the moment, so we'll have to see. But Transformers 1, I saw it, I liked it. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. I'm not really sure what I'm going for with this channel at the moment. I'm just experimenting with some film journalism bits. So please bear with me as I work it out. But if you're interested in coming along on the journey, please subscribe and let me know what you think. Bye. Transformers 1. He saw Transformers 1. Yeah.